Assalamu alaikum. This is Samira Dilshad Salsabil, currently studying CSE at Brack University. Today, I will discuss about how to speak. Public speaking is a huge problem for most of the people around us. Not being able to deliver a consistent and effective speech might cause us to lag behind in several fields. According to Rob Brown, if you can speak, you can influence. If you can influence, you can change lives. Patrick Winston said, a student should not venture out into the world without the capacity to communicate, since success in life will be defined mostly by the ability to speak, write, and the quality of thoughts. So, learning how to speak in front of everyone is essential, and today I'm going to discuss some of the strategies to make our speech effective. While speaking, we should not start with a joke because at the beginning of the conversation, the audience keeps themselves busy in settling them down and is not ready yet to comprehend the speech. Rather, should start with an empowerment promise, which means letting people know what they are going to learn at the end of the hour that they didn't know at the beginning. This will be the reason to be there and listen, also will create a suspension for the audience to listen further. Now, to make our speech more smooth and attractive, we can follow these four samples, which are cycle back to the main point, build a French around the idea, use of verbal punctuation, and questioning to the audience. Cycling implies going around the major factor 3 to 5 times in a speech and repeating the concept several times to ensure that everyone understands it. We should do it, however, in a different method than before. Again, we need to make a fence around our concept in order to distinguish it from the ideas of others, so that the audience understand that this idea is unique and it only belongs to you. Thirdly, we have to use verbal punctuation according to the use of punctuation. We also have to make sure that the stopping time between every line is not more or less. Beside, to ensure that everything is in order, we must summarize the information. And lastly, we can ask questions to grab the attention of our audience and help them to interact with our ideas. Another thing that we have to ensure is the time slot is not very early and the place is very well lit. The timing of the presentation is critical because if we choose a time around lunch or dinner, people will be tired then and they will not be able to concentrate properly. However, if we choose a time during morning, people will be more active and will able to focus on the topic. The best time to give a lecture is around 11 a.m. Moreover, before starting the speech, the location should be adequately illuminated and inspected. Your venue should not be overcrowded as it will irritate people a lot and also nor under half full. It should be selected based on the amount of listeners. Now here comes the use of props. While using different types of props, we should be extra careful about the arrangement of it. Suppose if we use a slide, we have to make sure there aren't too many words on the slide. It should be straightforward and we should get rid of logos. Also, we have to ensure that there isn't any titles and there is no clutter. Pictures may be used to attract and to seek the attention of the people, so they start to wait for its explanation. However, we should not use any picture that divert away the audience from the main point. Also, avoid pointer as due to that we may lose eye contact with the audience. When we write on the blackboard, we should write at the rate that approximates the rate at which people can absorb the concept. Make use of them to help you visualize the thought. The most efficient technique to communicate with listeners is through visual perception. It will cause the audience to focus on the speaker rather than the slides. Keep hands straight and use them to point towards the board rather than holding them behind your back. We also need to demonstrate to the audience that our material is cool and fascinating. Now here's come our conclusion. The worst way to finish a conversation is a question. Rather, we may deliver a joke at the very end of the speech, as it will make people leave the gathering laughing and remembering our speech. Also, thank you isn't a decent conclusion. It's a good idea to wrap up the speech saying quotes of a noble person or a salute to people expressing how much we value our time here and let them know it was fun. Hence, using all this technique and practicing more and more, one can be a good speaker. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, all the great speakers were bad speakers at first. So I want to conclude my speech saying that we should learn proper speaking way, practice more and more public speaking, enhance our speaking quality day by day. Thank you all for your patience.